Cleveland County, good afternoon. I'm Deborah Blanton, the host of the Cleveland County Kitchen Show, and I'm here today with Lloyd Lewis. I reminded him that he was our very first farmer back in November 2014. We're here today for his kale, and we're going to see two views of the kale. And Lloyd, I'm going to ask you to tell the Cleveland County why we're seeing two versions of kale.
Well, this is some kale we set out about 2 weeks ago when the wind was really bad, and it stunted the kale, but it's starting to come out now. It's starting to grow a little bit.
Well, as we'll see in the greenhouse, because we're going to move over there, that looks so much better, but that's been in a real protected environment.
Yeah, we've got some in the greenhouse, and we'll be looking at it. It's got a good color to it, and it's ready to set out.
And what we've also got growing here is cabbage, and then that last row over there is broccoli. Well, let's go on over to the greenhouse and see what you've got over there. All right, so here we've got kale that's been in a protected environment the whole time it's started to grow.
Right, yeah. We sowed this about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it's done to this size here. Already got this size. Getting ready to put all this in the field also. And we also got more cabbage back there, some sweet greens, and some more broccoli back there.
So actually this would probably be a good time for people out in the county to start planting their plants too.
The green stuff, like the greens. No tomatoes and stuff,
right.
Tomatoes and
right,
stuff.
Right.
But all your green stuff, withstand the frost. It's a good time.
But now also you actually have plants to sell, am I correct?
We do. We've got a few plants to sell, especially a lot of tomato plants.
Oh, okay.
We don't have many green plants to sell. We set all that ourselves.
Okay.
We'll have a lot of tomato plants for sale.
And will you have those at the farmer's market?
Yes, we will.
Well, Lloyd, I really want to thank you for opening up your farm again to us and Cleveland County Kitchen.
You're welcome. Anytime I can help you, just call on me. I love to show it off.
And I know you do. That's great. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Well, stay tuned. We're going to be in the studio talking about the nutritional value of the kale here in just a minute.
History books have many things in common. None omit the American Revolution, the Constitution, the story of slavery, but most will, to a degree, omit or ignore the story of religion in our lives. I'm Phil Smith, and I'm the host of a new show on C19 TV, which we call Keeping the Faith. Join my guest and I as we reconsider the role that religion plays here in Cleveland County, as well as throughout America, here on Keeping the Faith. See you soon.
I feel like learning how to speak Spanish is a great thing because I have lost several customers because of my inability to speak Spanish. And that started a couple of years ago. And since then, I've tried to learn little pieces and phrases so that I can communicate with them. Even if you can only say 1 or 2 words to a customer, their face lights up when you have some kind of connection with them.
Welcome back, Cleveland County. We've just been in the field, and now we're here with Nancy Abasier-Khan, who is with the Cooperative Extension, and she's the expert on all of our products with the nutritional value and how to store all these foods. So, Nancy, kale it is this time.
Yes, and Deborah, kale is one of the superfoods. Quite popular. We're hearing more and more about it. And it really does have a lot of nutrients, a lot of vitamins and minerals. So it is a good choice for adding more vegetables and leafy greens to our diet. Now, when it comes to some of the particular vitamins and minerals, vitamin K, it's very high in vitamin K, vitamin A and C, as well as other antioxidants and different minerals and so forth. And the things that we get from vitamin K, of course, it is helpful in blood clotting, helping our blood to clot, or with bone health, which isn't, we usually think of calcium for bone health, but also with leafy greens and kale in particular. Now, if someone is on a blood thinner medication, then they would need to either restrict or maybe even eliminate kale or things high in vitamin K. So consult their healthcare provider or their pharmacist for information on what they may need to do in that regard.
But for everybody else, it is a wonderful vegetable.
Yes,
and of course, it's fresh now in the farmers markets and in the grocery stores.
Right.
So it's, I mean, it's just, it makes you feel good. It's springtime, let's eat greens.
Yes, indeed, and they are abundant.
So if we do buy some from the farmer's market or the grocery store, what is the best way to preserve it until we use it, if we don't use it right away?
Okay. In purchasing, try to purchase either what you're going to use unless you're planning to freeze. So freezing kale, like other greens, is certainly a good option, and that's relatively easy to do.
Okay.
Just blanching a couple of minutes, and then putting it from the boiling water into your ice water, chilling that, draining, and then package, label, and freeze.
And now I would think you'd pat it dry.
Yes,
as
get
well.
it dry. So when you're draining it, you're getting as much excess water off of it as you can.
Right.
And when you close the bag, the freezer bag, press out as much of the air as you can.
Certainly.
So that you get a flat product with no air, which can lead to freezer burn and so forth with the air. But when you bring kale home, well, when you're selecting, you want to have dark, fresh-looking leaves of kale, and avoid any that are yellowed or wilted or have insect damage and that type of thing. Just leave those out. But when you get it home, put it in a plastic bag if it isn't already in one, and then put it in your refrigerator, in your crisper, your vegetable drawer, or the coldest part of your refrigerator.
Okay.
And you can store it for about a week or a few more days.
Okay.
But for maximum freshness and nutritional value, you want to go ahead and use it fresh within that week's time, if possible.
Okay. Well, that sounds very simple and with such a nutritional food. And before we started the program, we talked about the other members of the kale family. If you just want to repeat those, please.
Okay. Yes, kale is in the cabbage family, along with broccoli, cauliflower. So these are known as cruciferous vegetables.
Okay, good. That's a good term.
So we hear a lot about those for cancer, as good cancer prevention foods and good healthy foods. So add kale along with other leafy greens to your diet. And of course, last month we were talking about collards.
Right.
So this joins that list again as a nutritious choice for leafy vegetables.
Yes.
Non-starchy.
Well, sounds wonderful. Go to the farmer's market, grocery store, and I believe we'll have some very interesting recipes coming up. So Cleveland County, stay tuned. We'll be in the kitchen here in just a minute, and get your pencil and paper if you want to take the recipes down as you watch. But then always, of course, it's on the newsletter, it's on the website.
At clevelandcountykitchen.org.
Okay.
So clevelandcountykitchen.org.
All right.
Fact sheets, recipes, and video
of the
segments.
Perfect. Well, thanks for watching. See you in a few minutes.
One of the great things about movies is how many different types of movies get made. We try to cover all of that on Meet Me at the Movies. Unfortunately, I'm hampered somewhat by the fact that Inslee's taste is just awful.
What do you mean my taste is just awful?
Just because I enjoy a movie that you can watch in less than 5 hours and doesn't have subtitles for languages that don't even really exist.
The Japanese don't totally exist. Anytime it's black and white, your eyes roll back in your head.
You know the reason he doesn't like 3D? He just can't handle things flying at his face, which he's about to find out about once those cameras go off.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly. Tiana gave her pet the royal treatment. Belle found beauty where no one else did. And you can too. Share your heart. Share your love. Bring home your forever friend. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
Welcome back, Cleveland County. You've seen kale growing. You now know all its nutritional value, and we're cooking it in the kitchen. As you can see, this is going to be a little bit noisy program to start with. I'm here with Lila Duffy.
Very pleasant.
Who is from the Netherlands.
That's right.
And by the way, her daughter Mariah sings lovely like a bird.
Well, thank you.
And she is all over Shelby playing music, so I wanted to give her that plug, Lila.
Well, thank you so much.
And what's making the noise is our pressure cooker. This is one of the new modern pressure cookers.
Right.
And Lila, what's our first dish? And before we start, I want to say there are 3 dishes that we're going to try to be cooking. So
we are going to start with a Dutch dish that's very famous over there. It's kind of like our national pride, really. So boerenkool met worst. And it is basically 2 pounds of wonderful gold Yukon potatoes with 2 pounds of kale. Or if you're cooking in a pressure cooker, make sure that you check your own manual for safety and what have you.
Okay.
And go with that. I'll go over the safety features on this real quick. Right now we're going to do a quick release, so stand back and be amazed. This is the reason why the modern pressure cookers are safe. You have this quick release valve, which releases all the pressure out of the pan very rapidly and quickly, so you don't have to wait forever, nor will this pan explode. I don't know about anybody else here, but my mama used to scare me to death with, this thing can explode, stay away from the kitchen. Not with these guys. They have all these backup safety features. Not going to happen. What I'm waiting for here is for this pressure indicator valve to drop. Then I know that it's safe to pull back the lever and unlock the pot.
So what's in our pot, Lila?
Let me show you. We are working with a wonderful gold Yukon potato. And I'll just show you real quick how I cut this up and how I prepared it. And what's nice about making this dish in one pot is that it's so simple. Basically, you're going to have even-sized pieces like this, about 2 pounds worth. You're going to cut up your kale, slice it up rather fine, put it on top, and bingo. Okay, it went down just like that. Pull it back. No worries, no stress. Ta-ta. It's wonderful.
Okay.
Let me grab my little hand. So what you have in here in the pot is basically a basket with the potatoes and the kales. And I will put that over here.
And the onions, am I correct?
That's
and
going
the
to be
garlic?
later. So this will be nice and creamy. Let's move this out of the way. Thank you.
This out of the way. Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to add a little sea salt, a little pepper. And then we're going to add the mixture that we made previously, which is just indeed bacon, onion, and garlic.
So, in other words, you prepared the bacon before,
right,
and the garlic and the onions.
Mix it
and
all
you
up
cook
together.
those together.
Right.
Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit of heavy cream. And if you are having, dietary issues or what have you, you can totally do this with broth or with water or with whatever type of milk you want. And in Holland, this is called a stampot, which basically means to stamp the pot. And so if you have a heavy mixer, use it, whatever you have. But this is the old-fashioned muscle power way to do it. And very simple, very quick, and so easy. And extremely nutritious.
Okay. Well, and then I believe you're going to be adding some...
We have the sausage, because that is part of this dish.
Okay.
That we have a... normally it's called a rookworst, which is basically just a smoked sausage. Mm-hmm. And let me get that out of the way. And you will place these on top. And you are good to go.
So you have your vegetable, your starch, and your meat all in one dish.
All in one dish, and this dish goes way back to like the 1500s, or not earlier, once the potatoes first started showing up in Western Europe.
Okay.
And so everything is together, extremely nutritious, and everybody would eat out of one bowl. We
of
didn't have
course.
the idea of having
Of
separate
course.
dishes.
All right.
So voila.
Great. All right. And our next dish will be?
It's going to be the zuppa toscana. We are going to have 32 ounces of organic chicken broth. I like to work with low salt. And 2 cups of
Which
water.
you've already poured in there.
Yeah, plus 2 cups of water are in here. And now I'm going to add 2 russet potatoes, diced, and my onions. You don't even have to do anything to them. You just chop them up finely, add them to your broth, and go turn this on a medium-high to boil and let this simmer. And this normally will go about 15 minutes till the potatoes are done, whenever that's finished.
Okay. And then you will add something else to that?
Once this is complete, we're going to add our sausage, which is a sweet Italian sausage. These are basically prepared from, you basically buy these from your grocer in a nice 4-pack. And I basically just cut them open here to get the casing off. Very simple little procedure.
Because for frying, because you'll crumble that and then fry.
I'm crumbling it up in the pan, and then this goes right in, and you just discard this.
Right.
And then fry it up and go from there. You know, you just crumble this up in the pan. Perfect,
Good.
right?
Good, right?
Okay, so that is what that is.
Okay.
And then we're going to add our kale, 2 cups, finely shredded. And this will all simmer together for another 15 minutes.
And of course the sausage we've browned.
Right. And our crispy bacon.
Okay.
You can make a brick taste good. It's just wonderful stuff. So there you go.
Okay. And this will be a soup, am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
It will take about a total of 30 minutes from beginning to end. And when it is all through, cooked through and everything is wonderful and cooked, we will add our 1 cup of heavy cream. And that is all there is to this
So for both these dishes, you could probably get by with a pint of whipping cream.
Yep, that's all you need.
Okay, great. Now, our last dish, I believe, is going to be kale chips.
That's right. And I do need to demonstrate quickly the easy way to do this. Let me get rid of all this junk. Basically, see, the kale has 2 different sides. So you lay the side up with the nerve right here, the vein, and you just just use your knife really close to the edge and go by there.
And cut the leafy part off.
Cut the leafy part off.
Okay.
And then you will cut this into bite-sized pieces. Because, again, evenness helps with making sure that the dish is cooked evenly throughout. You don't want certain pieces to burn and other pieces not to work. So let's do that just one more time.
Okay.
Just go close to the vein. There you go.
All right, that's good.
Voila.
Okay, great.
And there we go.
Okay.
Now, let's add that to the bowl that we already prepared.
That's good.
And I like using our local olive oil here in Shelby from Uptown Olive and More. I love this Tuscan herb-infused olive oil. It's fantastic. And she's got a lot more things to play with there, so it's always good. Now, this is about 1/8 to 1/2 cup, whatever you really like or need. And I tend to just massage this through like this. Okay. And then we're going to lay it out on our pan. You can use Pam on it if you want, but I feel confident that the olive oil is just going to be just fine. Do not crowd these. We live in the South, though humidity can be a problem. So you want to make sure that they don't steam in the oven. So,
and at what temperature are we setting the oven?
350.
Okay.
Yep.
And then we leave them in for how long?
I do normally between 12 and 15 minutes. And what you have to do to make sure that they don't get soggy or steamy is opening up the oven door regularly, like every 3 to 4 minutes. Just kind of open it, let the steam come out.
Oh, certainly.
And that's all you do.
Certainly,
and
that's
so
good.
With this one, I'm going to make 2 different flavors. And again, there are so many different opportunities here to try different olive oils and different spices and what have you. So I'm using a very coarse sea salt.
Okay, that's good.
And this one is going to be with a herbe de Provence, which is basically a herbal blend of all kinds of lovely things. Here, we'll do this one with that.
And then you have another one.
And we have
here?
a red curry.
Ah, okay.
Which is kind of unexpected, but really good. And these do not stay at my house ever. There's never any leftovers. They go so fast.
Well,
so
I would think you could eat a lot and not be full.
Exactly, and I think with children, wouldn't you rather give them something nutritious like this?
Right. And Lila, I think we'll. You all know that we'll be putting these in the oven.
Exactly.
350 for 15 minutes. Am I correct?
That is correct. 12 to 15 minutes.
Great.
Make
Great,
sure
great,
keep the little keep a check on it that they don't burn because they do burn fast.
And they're crunchy.
All
All right. Well, thank you. I will. And let us show our prepared dishes now of what you have done, and we're going to set those right here in front.
Here we have our Tuscan soup ready to go.
Okay.
And the dishware that I'm showing here is a very typically Dutch and Belgian motif, which is called boerenbont.
And I'm gonna hold this.
It's been around since early 16th century.
Okay.
But look at that.
Oh, nutritious.
It's delicious.
Another meal in one. And then we have our other dish.
Our boerenkool. Ready to go.
Ready to go.
So different textures, different flavors. It's an extremely versatile dish.
Using our kale.
Our kale.
Our kale. Well, Cleveland County, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next month's new product. And Lila, I can't thank you enough for demonstrating and giving us your expertise in the kitchen.
I loved every second. Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.